Allah selected the Arabs due to their language, due to their heritage, due to their supremacy.
I didn't like when I read it. I argue that that's racial supremacy.
So what? Nobody says anything, nobody dares to say anything with my 9mm Glock.
Recently, Sneako started a debate with Sheikh Assim Al-Hakeem. It seems to me that he is doubting his own deen, his own religion, his own faith. Is he having second thoughts concerning what is written in the Quran? Is he questioning the authority of Muhammad being the seal and the last prophet of all? Or is this another grift stunt where he's weighing his options to stay in Islam or start something else?
I've been struggling with this one ever since I read this hadith, which I have to admit I didn't like when I read it. And the hadith is the Prophet, peace be upon him, he said that the people of Yemen are the best of people. And I also read the hadith where it says that there's no race is better, there's no racial supremacy. And then I read this one, and to this day I'm still struggling to believe, like, why are the people of Yemen better? Why are the people of Yemen the best of people?
The Prophet did not, ﷺ, say that they are the best in the sense of that they are the most believers. He said that they have the cleanest of hearts and the most truthful and honest of rhetoric. They don't lie. That's in generality. And this is one of the ways of the Prophet ﷺ of being positive. He said positive things about all the tribes in Arabia, about the people in Tamim, in Najd. He said this about the people of Hijaz. He said this about this and that. Because the Prophet was always positive, looking at the positive things of the people, not looking at the negatives and to put them down. So this is not a check blanc for them to do whatever they want. They said that simply they have clean hearts, they don't hold a grudge, and we see this among the people we know from Yemen. We know them. I'm not talking about the Houthis. So you can't say that this about people generically. I hope this makes sense.
Well, could you, I don't mean to keep going on this, but could you not argue that that's racial supremacy?
So what? We do know that there is racial supremacy. We do know that although blacks and whites, red and yellow are equal and they only differ with the taqwa, the piety in the heart, but we also know that Allah selected the Arabs due to their language, due to their heritage, due to their supremacy at the time between the Byzantines, the Persians, the Jews and the Christians, of maintaining a level of moral conduct and a level of social justice between them at the time. But today we don't judge people by the color. In Saudi Arabia you see this. We may have imams who are black, we have non-Arabs leading the prayer. You'll have me, I'm not originally Arab, I'm originally from Indonesia. So that nobody says anything, nobody dares to say anything with my 9mm Glock. But still, we respect it and we feel, they're our homies. We have no problem.
So at a certain time, the Arabs were chosen people the same way Jews believe that they were chosen?
Yes, and this is why Qur'an is in Arabic. It's not in any other language. You can have translations in many languages, but Qur'an is Arabic.
So can you say Arabs were the chosen people?
No, because we have the worst scum from the Arab world. Bashar al-Assad. We can name few, but it's not the race. You don't have the, the notion that I can say bad things about Islam because of this or that. We don't have any racism in Islam. Blacks and whites are equal. We have this, we can see it everywhere. My father-in-law is as black as night. My father-in-law, he's black. And he's the most beloved person to my life. May Allah have mercy on his soul. That doesn't make any difference. We don't have this in us. We don't think of a race of what are you? Hispanic. ¿Qué pasa?
No, I'm everything.
So everything, but originally.
My mom is Filipino. My dad is black.
Kamusta ka?
Yeah.
Mabuti. Okay. So we integrate it. We don't look down at anyone.
Why the Arabs? Why the Arab language? And why he even admitted that, yeah, there is race supremacy. Like, he admitted that, and he said, like, so what? Like, what are your thoughts on that as a Christian?
Well, first of all, admitting to being, in his own eyes, the Übermensch, the best, the chosen ones, exactly what the Jews do. There is no supreme race. We are all human, and we are all descendants from the same father. So the minute you start to make differences, to start treating other people as less than yourself, because your religion says so, well, then you got the wrong religion. It's as simple as that. Nobody can treat another human as being less. You can differ in intellectually, or you can differ in knowledge, and you can differ in handiness. You can differ in these things. You can differ, but as a human, nobody is different. We're all the same. As a human, we are all the same. It's the same with women. Some women say, "Yeah, we are being suppressed, and we have no rights." But if you ask them, then what can you not do? What a man can do? They don't have the answer, and that's because they are not suppressed. It's all in the mind, you know. The mind plays tricks on those people, and with belief, yeah, claiming to be the chosen people is a very dangerous path to go to. It stems from the time of Jesus, where the Jews were called the chosen people, but that was in those times. The Arabic world was a very clever world. It used to be. They invented a language. They invented mathematics. They were clever, but the Arabic world now is totally different. They're not the top of the bill anymore in the world. It's the Western world, and now we are being the Western world is dying, so it's becoming the Indian world, the Hindus and also Asia, that is becoming the top of the inventions and things. So it always changes, but in the beginning we are all the same. We are humans. There's nothing different between me, a Chinese man, or an African man. No, in our soul we're all the same. So, and if you start treating people as equal to you, in sense of being a human, you become a better person.
Like, doesn't that also kind of strays away from the message of Christ as well? Isn't that like an opposite belief in what Christ brought and tried to teach us in the short time period he was here on earth?
Yes, of course. And again, that's why you see this is not the right religion. This is not the thing to follow. If you start categorizing things, if you start categorizing people and countries, then you're on the wrong path. And that was what Jesus told us. Jesus said, just treat a stranger as you would treat a family member. Just treat a stranger as you would treat yourself. It doesn't mean you have to trust everybody in this world, because there are very bad people in this world as well. But I mean, as a human, it's different to see somebody's character, somebody's intention, or seeing as a human. That's why it's very difficult for me. But sometimes people say, yeah, like that murderer, or that we have to do the same to him. I used to be like that. But in the end, I changed because I think, yeah, but he's still a human being, you know. He has feelings, even if they are very, very slight. He feels pain, he feels sorrow. You don't know what happened to him when he was a child. Maybe he was molested, and who knows what else. And these are all factors that change somebody, that makes their character. So, but in essence, he's a human. So maybe it's harsh, but I'm more for like to say, well, then lock him up for the rest of his life and treat him as a human, but lock him up so he cannot harm anyone else, and that means that problem is solved. But killing is always the wrong decision in my eyes. Killing is always the wrong decision, because you're killing a brother. You're killing somebody who has the same comes from the same gene pool as you. And then we come back to Cain and Abel. He killed his brother. So yeah, it's the same. Even if because that is proven. We're all related. That is the strange thing about we're all related. You can pick somebody from Africa and compare him to me. Well, in the long run, if you make the whole circle, we will be brothers. We will be connected to each other. And so, yeah. No, I think it's the wrong message. Especially also things like he said, well, nobody dares to speak against me because of my Glock 9. I mean, yeah, I heard that. I mean, and that's somebody who preaches the religion of peace with a Glock 9 in his pants. Yeah, no, not me. Yeah, it's laughable, but he did say it, didn't he?
He was so sneaky. And it wasn't
so
even
sneaky.
Sneako
But I heard it.
But
yeah.
that's the brag culture, the flex culture. That's showing the true nature of what Islam as an ideology is all about. It's reflected right there in this little.
He exposed himself. Yeah.
That should be a good title for the video. Sheikh Al-Hakeem exposes himself with a Glock 9.
Yeah, with a Glock, because nobody says to contradict me because of my Glock 9. It says it all. He says in that little sentence.
It sounds like Muhammad the Prophet, but now with the sword.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. And yeah, so it's on that side, it is a perfect little vid, because in one sentence he exposes the whole Islam. Yeah,
I think many people missed it. I think the general of people that watch it just missed it and just focused on the questions Sneako was asking and the answer Sheikh Al-Hakeem was saying, and just forget about that little behind the whisper. You know, I'm whispering in your ear. You know what I mean? It's like he didn't want people to hear it, but he wanted people to hear it. You know what I mean?
He had to the urge to tell the people. You know, it's like somebody who's done something sneaky. In the long run, he has to tell somebody. You got this urge, and he had the urge to tell this to make himself feel important. But the problem is, if I look at videos like that, I listen to the questioning and the answering, but I also look at, one, the body language, and two, what are they not saying, or what are they sneaky saying? And that's why I heard him say this about the Glock 9. I was listening, so he's exposed. Well, thank you, thank you to the Sheikh for exposing yourself as being a dictator type person who dominates people by threatening them with your gun. That's a way to go, man.
Basically insane. If it's just kind of blows my mind thinking of it, and especially if you can be in that position of, you know, holiness and being like a prime example and leading people and bringing peace and representing all of that stuff that should be positive. How many times did they use the word positive at the beginning of the video, for example?
Yeah.
You wanted to make sure you would take it all in. You would remember that was the important part. It's just Muhammad equals positivity. That's what they wanted you to remember. That's all.
Yeah.
But if you go down the line, and it also seemed that they tried to, besides of course giving an honest response and opinion from a professional clerical level, he was also trying to kind of like be playful and fool around, you know, like, how do you say, like trying to take the edge off, so that he wouldn't continue asking these very serious questions. That's also what I sensed. You know.
Yeah, that's why the young man in the background were sniffling and laughing. It was to create an ease, hey bro, hey, you're one of the gang type of thing. But I see through those things. I see through those people. It's just a facade. It's just to empower their belief, their agenda. Yeah.
I think like any religion, and that's something we discussed before. It doesn't matter who, but any religion that has a social religious hierarchy, like they have this categorization, and they can implement it by law, where whatever you believe or don't believe in, that would put you in a certain position in society, and whether you get benefits or not, that depends on what you're willing to believe in. That by itself is not from God. It cannot be from God.
No.
And people that buy into it and want to believe that's crazy to me. That's really crazy.
And that's something that Jesus really, really emphasized onto his apostles. I am not a king. I am not the king. I don't want to live in a castle with wealth, and I don't want to abuse the power. I just want to be a shepherd, you know, protect my sheep and see that they don't have any problems. That's what I am here for. And that's the difference between leaders at this time and age. They all want to be the dominant one. And most of them, and that's the strange part. Most of them are really losers. Most of them are really spineless creatures, slithering snakes. And now they get, because of the political environment, they get a sort of a power trip. And then they, of course, if you're a weakling and you get power over millions of people, of course you're going to abuse it because you're a weakling. If you are a powerful being, if you are really powerful yourself, you don't need to dominate people because you know you can, and that's why you don't want to do it. But these politicians in these times, they're really weaklings. They're losers, and they probably were bullied in their young age, young times, and now they're taking revenge on humanity. And now I'm going to show you who is boss. You know, that type of thing. That's the ages we live in now. But yeah, in any way, I love the movie. I love the video just because of the exposure, and just because of, again, we can see what kind of people they are, even if they try to put up a big show or a big picture of themselves as being the most tolerant people in the world. Yeah, we see through them. And I think more and more in the Arabic world, especially, more and more people are beginning to see it. You know, their eyes are beginning to open. Whilst, as we talked about before, in the West, more and more people, especially the powerful people, are promoting Islam, are promoting that religion as being the truth and the thing we have to adore. So it's a change of worlds. It's a change of worlds. Very strange, very strange. And I think also, if I think about it, the weak people in power, why are they promoting the Islam as being the religion, and that we have to they get a white sled and they can do anything because they are the good ones. Why are they doing that? It's logical, because Islam is a dominant religion is a religion of fear, putting fear into people. And that was what the church in the early days of Christianity in Europe did. The church was boss, you know. The church told the people what to think, what to do, and what to eat. And that's something they lost in the West. And now, through Islam, they're trying to gain that power again, because they saw that it worked in the Arabic world, and now so they think they can do the same. Because as a weakling, you have to find something to terror people, you know, to make people afraid of you. And what is better than a religion of the sword, you know? So yeah, it is all little pieces that fit together if you think about them, and then you start to understand some things more than why are they doing it? Why is Europe flooded by Islam? Why is Europe being changed from a real Christianity society to an Islamic society? Why? And I think that's one of the reasons, because they think the leaders think that through Islam they can dominate the people again, as they like, the weaklings.
But if you remember that documentary and that history, for example, like researchers and like Tom Holland, for example, there are more, but I can't remember the names. I've got to look him up again. They made the link. They were able to provide the link on a historical basis between Catholicism, Roman Catholicism, and Islam, and the foundations that can be found. So, with other words, that the Catholic Church was responsible of contributing to the formation of Islam as a religion, because they wanted to initially dominate and control that region of Arabia. They wanted they wanted to unify all those pagan tribes under the Catholic Church, but they failed and it backfired. That's why Islam had the opportunity to create itself and be completely separated. That's why they still have a close relationship. If you look at it, you know, think about Pope John, for example, back in the days, kissing the Quran and all that stuff. And a lot of people remember past things that the Catholic Church did to show their alliance and their brotherhood with Islam, you know, these two faiths. And, you know, what my dad said is true. Like, that's something that I came to a conclusion some time ago already, like many years ago, that they just want to go back to those times of the Middle Ages, like in Roman Catholicism, but then just replace it with Islam, because they're on the same level, on the same frequency. They operate on the same level. It has the same basis. It's just a different outward appearance. You know, the core is the same, but the appearance is different. But that doesn't matter to them. It's about the system and the programming. And the other thing, what is also interesting, is that if you add AI with it, then you get the beast system. To me, Islam as a religion, how it operates, is already a beast system. The only problem is it's outdated. If you add AI to it, then it's forever, and then you're stuck in that beast system, and then Revelations comes to fulfillment. To me, that's how I see it personally, if you combine these elements together.
Yeah, that's why the prophecy also told that there will only be one religion in the end. The religion, the power, the leading cabal of the world will create themselves, and that will be a religion of all mixed together. You know, that's because they know. It's not only that they believe it, but they know that through religion there is an enormous power trip to be gained. There's an enormous power to be gained. So they will use everything they can. They don't care if you're a Muslim or if you're a Christian. Or it's the system they want. You know, that's the only thing. And that's why true Christianity has nothing to do with all these beliefs, because Christianity, it's not actually a religion. It's a way of life. You know, it's a way of living, a way of thinking. It has nothing to do with Christianity itself is the church. We don't need a building, or we don't need crosses, or we don't need statues. It's the mind. It's the mindset, and that's what some people forget, and that's what some people don't understand. They all think like all the other religions in the world, but that's not Christianity. Christianity is something totally different. That's why it's the truth, because it's so sophisticated and so embedded in our soul. Besides, there is not any contradiction to be found in the Bible and in Christianity, and that's also something that is very, very, very special. But the truth about the Islam, Jewish and other religions, even paganism, want to join together. It's because of the power. It is only because of the power they gain by that. I saw a female priest, a Catholic priest in England, saying that she's going to not going to recite the Bible anymore in church. She's going to recite Islamic texts to her Christian followers. I mean, yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's crazy.
So, on a final note, what do you think that with all these internal questions and these struggles, this internal jihad that Sneako is dealing with at the current time, do you think that questioning his own faith, his own religion, that might lead him to go astray, or is there too much at stake at the moment, being this big online influencer because he has a big following, he has this alliance with the Islamic world, he's a poster child, basically, he's getting a lot of support, views, likes, clicks, money. You know, what do you think? Do you think that his own soul is at stake at this moment of time?
Well, I think it's like the prophecy said, there will be lots of false prophets, lots of false shepherds, and that's what's happening. I mean, if I cannot believe that everybody will be saved. I cannot believe that, because some people are just easy to persuade to do things that they normally wouldn't do, and that's in religion. That's the same. So as good can use internet and World Wide Web to promote itself, also evil can do the same. You know, so but in the end, and that's what makes me happy, that is, in the end, the truth will always win from the lie, no matter what. So you can promote and you can try to persuade and do whatever you like. In the end, the truth will always win. The truth will always win, because a lie has to be backed up by another lie, has to be backed up by another lie, and in the end, people will see through it. And that's what I believe. That's why I always tell in our podcast to people, do your research. You know, think for yourself. Don't have anybody else think for you. You are an individual human. You have a brain. Not everybody is as smart as everybody, but you have brain enough to look things up. Same on internet. Do not only use Google to search things. Use other search engines, because Google is compromised. Google has an agenda. Google is not always truthful. They only show what they want you to find. There are lots of independent search engines where you can find the real content you're looking for. So use that. Maybe something we can do in the next thing, you can put a few links to other search engines. Maybe that's something that would help people, because not everybody thinks, yeah, Google is it, you know. But there are more there's more than Google. So maybe that's a good thing to do for people that are not as knowledgeable about those things. Put a few links to other search engines. That's the start, and also books. If you think you don't really trust what you find online, go to a library, look in books, and you can say, yeah, but I don't have much time. I can promise you that the time you're spending doing this research is enjoyable, enormous enjoyable, because your horizon will be broadened and you will see things you would never see before. So that's also a reason why there were book burnings in history, you know, because there was knowledge nobody could know, and then they were burning the books. That's always the first thing they do: cut knowledge, cut communication, and cut knowledge. That's the first thing the tyrants do. That's why we saw all the censorships online, huh? Because people were talking too much, and the elites don't like that. So yeah, my final thoughts. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. In the end, truth will always conquer. And do your research. If somebody tells you something, say, okay, I'm open to that, and then start looking for if the answer is the correct one, if the answer is the truthful one. You can always find the truth anywhere.
Okay, I want to end it with a Bible verse concerning the same topic. It's Galatians 3:28, which states that in Christ there is neither Jew nor Greek, neither slave nor free, nor there is a male and female. You are all one in Jesus Christ.
And that's exactly what it is. There are no better humans or less humans. We're all in Christ. We're all the same.
That Sheikh Assim Al-Hakeem video went viral everywhere, bro. I think overall I was thinking about that. I was thinking about this a lot. I think overall that video where I asked him the question about the hadith where it says the people of Yemen are the best people, about Arab supremacy, and he said, like, you're a kafir, get out of my house. I think overall that clip was good for me, bad for him, and bad for the ummah. So overall it was bad.
Do. Alhamdulillah, motherfuckers.